Glyphosate. If you're in the health space, this is something that you probably know about. Or maybe you've heard the word being thrown around, but you don't actually know much about it. Or if you're like the majority of the population, you have absolutely no idea what that word means. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the full picture and why it might not be congruent with what we're being told. And stick around because at the end, I'm going to share a couple ways to naturally detoxify glyphosate from your body. With that being said, let's get into it. Hey, what's up? My name is Schuyler. I'm the founder of Reach Fat Loss and Fitness, where our goal is to help you lose weight and keep it off, all without counting calories, without any strict or sucky dieting, and without having to eat 5 or 6 times a day. Our goal is to make this as easy as possible, and everything we talk about in this video, as well as all my other videos, have helped clients of mine drop weight, keep it off, and feel incredible in their body. And my goal is to help you do the same. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm putting out new videos every single week geared to get you in the best shape of your life. So what is glyphosate? About a year ago, I made a video on the weed killer Roundup and their $289 million lawsuit that pushed them to start taking Roundup off of residential shelves. But let's really talk about the full picture here, because even though Roundup is allegedly taking their product off the shelf, it is still used in a majority of the conventional crops that we consume. So what is Roundup? What is glyphosate, right? Glyphosate is the primary component in the weed killer Roundup. It's a selective herbicide, meaning that it can kill some things but not others, right? It's not killing everything that it gets sprayed on. The scary thing about glyphosate, once you really understand what it does, is that it's actually sprayed over 50% of all corn and soy in the United States. Now, at first, if you're like, well, I don't eat corn and I don't really eat soybeans that much, that might not seem like much, but if you take a look at the products in your average grocery store, that store typically contains over 4,000 items that contain corn in the form of high fructose corn syrup or dextrose, maltodextrin, all these ingredients that many people are consuming every day. And the scary part is that in terms of glyphosate, there was over 11.4 million metric tons used in 2021, which if you really think about it, if you are eating a standard American diet or you're not being careful about the ingredients in your food, there's a high chance that you're consuming pretty high levels of this herbicide. Now, here's where things get a little bit intense. First, over 80% of genetically modified crops in the United States have been engineered to tolerate being sprayed with glyphosate, meaning that the dosage used to kill a normal crop that hasn't been genetically engineered can now be used with the same crop and not kill it, meaning we can spray more on our food without the consequences of killing the food. Another crazy stat is that about 4.5 billion pounds of glyphosate are used worldwide. This is for spraying highways, golf courses, turf fields, anything where we can use this to prevent weeds from being grown. And the worst part about this is that 99% of the glyphosate that is sprayed on these things is not absorbed by it, and it's actually run off from that plant when it rains or when it gets sprayed with water, meaning that it's soaking into the soil and it's evaporating into the air. And there's a crazy stat out there that shows that about 75% of the air we breathe and the water we drink is contaminated with glyphosate. Now, we dig deeper here, right? What is glyphosate? Is it an herbicide? Yes. However, the crazy part here is that glyphosate is patented as an antibiotic, not a weed killer. Now, if you know anything about antibiotics, yeah, it kills some bad bacteria, but it also kills the very good bacteria in our body. Let's take something, for example, like our gut health that has billions of healthy and diverse gut bacteria that when we take antibiotics or when we consume pesticides like glyphosate can destroy the diversity of it, leading to issues like cancer, anxiety, depression, many other problems that we want to avoid. So when we get a lot of people in the health space talking about glyphosate, typically they're saying, well, glyphosate causes cancer, it causes cancer. And I think there's a cause and effect relationship there, but I don't think it's the direct cause. I think that glyphosate weakens the body, which allows it to be susceptible to disease, susceptible to cancer. And before we really get into it, I'm not here to spread fear. Stick around to the end because, again, I'm talking about ways to detoxify glyphosate from the body. What is most important here is we need to be educated. We need to be aware because most of us are consuming food with glyphosate on it and we have absolutely no idea how much it's impacting our body and our mind. So let's go a little bit deeper here about some of the side effects of glyphosate. Number one, we've got direct injury to the protein structure that holds your gut lining together, which means that your gut may be more susceptible to things passing through it. It also affects the other cell walls in your body, protecting your brain, your kidneys, other vital organs. And so when we consume this, when we used to have this barrier, right, blood-brain barrier, blood-kidney barrier that protected things in our blood from getting into our system, with these things weakened, now these things can cross those barriers and basically attack and invade certain organs in our body. The way I like to think about it is if you were to go to your local garbage dump and you were going to take a big truck and scoop up a ton of garbage and dump it into a net, we normally have a very protective net that's super tight. Think of like a fish net where you dump things in and nothing really falls out because it's all bigger than the net. Maybe some liquid here and there falls out. And so what glyphosate is doing is it's taking this net that was normally very, very small, like a fish net, and it's turning it into, say, something like a shark net, where the holes and the spaces between the rope are this big, which allows a lot more garbage to pass through. So you can see how this could be a problem, right? We're damaging the way our body is able to handle toxins, and especially in a world where we are surrounded by toxins. Between the air we breathe, ingredients in our food, toxins in the cookware that we use, toxins in our beauty products and healthcare products. And so where our body's meant to handle these things, by consuming something like glyphosate, we're actually reducing its ability to fight these things off. Along with that, there have been some studies linking liver and metabolic diseases in kids with use of glyphosate. And just referencing a study in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, exposure to glyphosate during the early stages of life can severely affect normal cell development by deregulating some of the signaling pathways involved in this process, leading to alterations in differentiation, neuronal growth, migration, and myelination. And what this does is it induces oxidative stress, neuroinflammation, and mitochondrial dysfunction, processes that lead to neuronal death by autophagia, necrosis, or apoptosis, as well as the appearance of behavioral and motor disorders. Now, this is a huge deal because we're being fed this stuff and most people aren't even aware of it. This stuff is literally in the food that you consume on a daily basis. And the nerve-wracking part here is that we're just starting to see more use of glyphosate. And so this next generation of kids, if they're unknowingly consuming this, we have no idea what their life is going to be like when they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. Now, like I said, I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to just sound the bells and say everything's terrible and life is going to be awful in 20 years. I'm here to make you aware. And with that being said, there are ways to reduce your exposure to glyphosate, and there are ways to improve your detoxification of glyphosate, meaning your body's ability to get it out. And so I've got 4 things for you and then a couple supplements. So number 1 and most important is reduce your exposure, right? It doesn't matter how much you're detoxifying if you're continuously intaking. And so just buy organic when you can, especially with fruits and vegetables that don't have skins, and with food items that contain corn and soy ingredients. Best rule of thumb I can give you is just reduce packaged goods. And if you are consuming packaged goods, always get them organic. But changing what you consume is going to allow you to naturally consume less glyphosate. Number 2, and my favorite, is fasting. Now, this is what we teach with our clients to help them lose weight. But a side effect of fasting is you allow your body the chance to push out and to kill all these sick, dead, old cells. And so in the process, you're able to take these toxins that you've consumed and push them out of the body. And so it's one of my favorite ways to lose weight. It's one of my favorite ways to stay healthy. I'm in maintenance mode and I'm fasting 24 hours at least once a week. But the goal of fasting is you feel better than you do now. You don't be hungry all the time. You're not tired all the time. It's something that should make you feel better. And so if you are a little bit intrigued about what that is, we do have a training in the description of this video that lays out our system for it and why it's so effective and how you can use it to drop weight and to just be healthier in general. The third thing is exercise. Exercise and sweating is going to allow you to turn on autophagy in the body, to clean out these old cells, and to just push out some of these toxins. Now, I'm a big fan of weight training. However, for detoxification, you're going to want to do more things that are going to get your heart rate up and allow you to sweat. So think fast-paced walking with a weighted vest, a run, a sprint workout, rowing, anything that's going to allow you to start to get that heart rate up and sweat. And then number 4 is get in the sauna. Infrared saunas are really great for detoxifying. Not only do they heat you up from the inside, but when you sweat, a lot of the stuff that you sweat out are these toxins that you're looking to get rid of. I recommend starting with about 20 to 30 minutes 3 times a week, and you can always increase that. If you don't have a gym membership that has a sauna, or you're not looking to go to your local center, I did do a review on a portable sauna that you can keep in your place, and that's a great resource to allow you to sweat without having to go anywhere else. And then the other things was actually from a video I found from Dr. Berg, who is an amazing resource when it comes to health. But detoxing glyphosate in terms of supplements can be dandelion, berberry, burdock, activated charcoal, which is an awesome supplement in general, bentonite clay, humic fulvic acid, and chelates and zinc. Now, if you have been consuming a processed diet, does this mean go out and buy every single supplement and start taking them? Probably not. If you're experiencing some very severe health issues, maybe it's a good idea, but I would just pick 1 or 2 of these to get started with, and most importantly, of course, reducing that intake, being careful with the foods that you're consuming. So that's all I got for you today. Make sure, again, if you're looking for fat loss help, you go in the description of this video and you check out our free training. And make sure if you're looking for more awesome content like this, you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell. But with that being said, of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.